It's truly amazing, and
Really amazing.
I mean, not only not only locally in the United States, but globally. I mean, across the globe, everyone was just praying, in agreement for his healing and just for our healing as well. As parents, we don't ever want to see our children hurt, so just the prayers have been so comforting, and we're so grateful.
He's great. He's doing fine. I mean, he's happy, and that's the most important thing, right? As parents, you like to see your kids, a smile on their face when you walk into their house and their home. But he's doing great, and we thank you guys for everything, man. The support, Hawaii, I mean, Samoa, New Zealand, globally. I mean, those of you that supported our son and us and our family, thank you so much. Thank you.
Is there any doubt that he comes back and plays football next year?
Oh, he comes
No,
back.
he
Yeah,
comes back.
yeah, he comes back. You know what I'm saying? And that's their guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, they love him. We love them and what they're doing and how they're, helping him with his recovery and everything else. Trying to get him back. Still going through his protocol, but man, we're grateful for them too. Very thankful for Miami, the organization, the owner, and so as Greer and as a GM and head coach Mike.
That was Tua's parents talking about Tua and his recovery. I'm not really sure when that video was filmed. I understand that the Polynesian Awards were held around January 12th or January 13th. So let's assume that January 12th or 13th is when that was filed, when it was actually produced and put out there. But that 1 minute and 24 seconds 1 minute and 24 seconds is more than we've heard from Tua since December 25th. Actually, December 26th. No, it was December 25th. The night of the game, he did the presser where he said he didn't remember anything, and then that was it. Haven't heard a word from him. And since that day, since December 25th, it seems like the world opened up, or the sea opened up, and there's been right now two different kinds of Miami Dolphins fans. There are Tua fans and there are actual Miami Dolphins fans. And if you don't do everything to pledge allegiance to Tua, no matter how much you were behind him all season long, you're accused now of turning your back on him. You're accused now of abandoning him, having no faith in him. It doesn't matter what you've done for the last 5 or 6 months. It's all out the window. It means nothing because you're turning your back on him. All because at this point, we don't have any idea what's going on. Yes, last week Tua posted a tweet, and he posted something on Instagram that said, hey, listen, I look forward to next season. But that's it. That's been the entirety of the communication from Tua. And in this 1 minute and 24 second segment video from his parents. And that's it. That's it. And we're supposed to be lockstep and follow along and do not question anything. If you question anything, you're a hater. I was called a hater and a tuaneer all season long. And now that I'm asking questions, I'm tossed over into the hater. So now, this video is about what problems Tua is now going to be facing. And yes, I am a Tua fan. I'm not going to play the disclaimer because I didn't load it up. But I'm a Tua fan. But I'm also a Miami Dolphin fan. And I'm a fan of the team. Players come and go. My fandom is with the Miami Dolphins. As you can see it back up in here, here's my Notre Dame banner. My Notre Dame banner since I was a little kid and got recruited by Notre Dame. I've been a fan of Notre Dame. Montana came and gone. Jimmy Clausen came and gone. Terry Hanratty. I can go through the entire realm of quarterbacks and players. The Bus, Tim Brown. And they came through, did their 4 years, and then they were gone. But I'm still a Notre Dame fan. I'm not following Notre Dame because you know what? Jerome Bettis is gone. That's it. I'm checking out. I think a lot of people in the NFL, for some reason, are actually with the Miami Dolphins fan base, is you either follow Tua or you're not a fan, which is absolutely absurd. There's something else that's absurd. No conspiracy, nothing at all. I don't try to get into the realm of conspiracy. I just like to show you what people say. And I tweeted about it this afternoon. And by the way, the Twitter audience that I have and the YouTube audience that I have are completely different. So I'm going to ask you guys this. Did you notice anything in what Papa Tagovailoa said in that little clip? I'll play it back in case you missed it, but I want you to hone in on one thing he said in that clip, and it wasn't about him coming back. So I won't play the entire thing, but zoom in here and listen to what he says in about 8 seconds.
We love them and what they're doing and how they're, helping him with his recovery and everything else, trying to get him back. Still going through his protocol, but, man, we're grateful for them, too. Very thankful for Miami, the organization, the owner, and so as Greer and, as a GM, and then head coach Mike. I mean,
did you hear it? Did you catch it that time? Did you understand what he said? He said, and he may have been loose with his, words there, but he said, not my words, he said that Tua was still in the protocol. Albeit from us, I don't think Dolphins have a game this week, next week, or the week after. But for some reason, he says Tua is still in the protocol. And for me pointing that out and saying, hey, guys, he's obviously not healed. He's obviously not better. We have no other information to the contrary. So either you believe what his father said and said he's still in some sort of protocol, which I have no idea how a month later you're still in the protocol for a concussion when you have no game coming up. There is no upcoming game to get ready for. There's no game until next September, so there is no protocol. What he must be talking about is Tua's regimen to recover. And notice what he didn't say. He didn't say Tua is fine and he's recovered. He's better. It's over. And so what is happening right now is we don't have any information, and people say, hey, you don't deserve any information. Just understand you have to follow along. Okay. But here's what's going to happen, and here's what I wanted to bring up. This is where things start to get a little weird here. And when you start seeing it, this is what I had posted on Twitter a couple days ago. And I'm saying it right now. Here's Tua Tagovailoa's big problem. And when I was in working for ad agencies and talking to clients, I would say to them, and I would make sure they understood, this is something really big about digital marketing. The conversation is taking place, whether you participate or not. Other people are now defining what is being said. Because you're not participating in a conversation, don't for an instant think that it's not occurring. And I had to tell client after client after client about that, who thought they could just ignore crises and different things. And I would tell them, just because you're ignoring it doesn't mean it's going away. And then when you decide you want to get back into it, you're going to have to overcome a huge mess. So this is what I tweeted. I said, here's Tua's big problem. And this is what this video is about. He likes to keep to himself. We know that. It's January. Let me scroll up here. Camp doesn't open until July. It's January. Camp opens 6.5, 7 months from now. For the next 7 months, the media will have their way with him. For the next 7 months, the media will define everything about Tua. That's a fact that you can't really debate that. They are going to define everything about Tua for the next 6 or 7 months. Right now, they're not really talking about it. They don't have to. Got the playoffs finishing up. Then you got the conference championships, the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. And then the conjecture will begin. And then the stories and narratives will start. And you can bet they will define him the more nothing happens. By the time camp rolls around, we will see his support seriously dwindle. And I mean that from the media, and I mean that from the fan base. It's already happening. There is a faction growing right now that is beginning to splinter, and some people are calling themselves Tua fans, and some people are calling themselves Miami Dolphins fans, and the twain don't meet. It's very, very weird, and people have got to begin looking at this. This guy, I don't even know who he is, but he had a great tweet, and I want to share it. He says, seeing Dolphins fans saying they will take the year off if the Dolphins add Brady. Beware these people. These are the people that care more about Tua than they care about the Dolphins. Who else? Let's see your true colors. So, I'll pause right now. We're only into this in the first 5-6 minutes, and I got to ask you, are you a Tua fan or are you a Dolphins fan? And that's something people can say in the comments. Who are you behind here? I've been blasted for the last couple of days for people saying again the sophomore BS about, oh, you turned your back, oh, you've abandoned Tua. I'm like, man, I'm not 15. I can see what I can see. I understand he's an elite quarterback. Asterisk. When healthy, you cannot run an NFL franchise on hopium. You cannot run an NFL franchise thinking that, hey, it'll all be okay. And that's where the problem is. We've got people out there right now who are deciding whether or not which way they want to go. And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm not just going to say it. I'm going to prove it to you. And you can probably tell from the people in the comments. We've been seeing this stuff happen, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And now what's getting worse about it is it's happening with the media, starting here with the local media. We're going to go through some stuff here. It's a lot of starting as a whisper, an article here, an article there. Hey, what do you think about this? What's going on? And it's just beginning to build, and nobody from the Dolphins, yeah, I know Chris Greer came out and said, oh, he's 100% our quarterback. Yeah, okay. If you have that, if you want to go down to the Hard Rock and put, $1,000 on that he's not changing his mind and that nothing's going to happen, then you understand it's all talk. Like Barry Jackson said, I think it was Barry Jackson, or one of the guys from ESPN, until you put the money down, until you option that contract and say he's your guy, it's all talk. And right now, nobody's mentioned that there's even a contract negotiation in place. You would think, hey, right now they're negotiating a new deal for Tua. Nope. Well, Barry, you wouldn't know that. Everything is public. You don't think Adam Schefter would be reporting today? Hey, they're right now they're in negotiations with Tua about upping his deal. Everybody knows that in order for the Dolphins to compete in 2023, they've got to restructure the cap. As I mentioned a couple days ago, Dougie Durong made a great video on cap space, so I didn't have to do it. There's going to be money there. They're doing it right now. They're figuring out who they're going to pay, who they're not going to pay, because they're going to have to go shopping in a couple weeks, a couple months. And you need to have money on the credit card before you go shopping to bring in who you want to bring in. And Barry Jackson wrote something yesterday or today I'm going to show you, and I hope the Dolphins aren't waving the white flag, because the article that he wrote to me says the Dolphins are basically waving the white flag, and they can't possibly be thinking that this early in the process. I got to think that Barry wrote that article to try and tamp things down, but it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. So I tweeted that out, and then another came out. This came out, and this was amazing. And I listened to what people actually say, their words. There's nothing conspiratorial about listening to what somebody says. So a doctor who helped develop the widely used test for concussion recovery agrees with the Dolphins. With proper rest, Tua Tagovailoa isn't at elevated risk for concussions. Wait a second. I thought you said that this has a codicil to it. This says, quote, with proper rest. When the first article that came out and said, nah, he's not prone to it. Well, which is it? With proper rest? If he bumps his head? What is it? And what I wrote was, so if Tua Tagovailoa gets another concussion, does that mean he needs proper rest to sit out weeks again? I don't know. But this doctor used those words. He qualified his statement. Oh, everything's going to be fine with proper rest. Well, how much rest? A month? If he got concussed during the Green Bay game and it's still a month later and he's still not ready, well, in NFL life, in NFL clock, that's 4 or 5 games. That's 4 or 5 games if he got concussed in Green Bay on Christmas Day. And today is January 26th. That's 4 weeks. And so he hasn't had proper rest in 4 weeks because his dad said he's still recovering. So does that mean he would miss 4 or 5 games? You got to read what the people are saying, because we're coming into a fan war here. We're coming into some sort of fan clash that I've never seen in my life in sports. And I've been a lifelong Boston Red Sox fan. I've been a lifelong Notre Dame. And I've never seen the kind of fan clash that's beginning with Tua. And I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. It doesn't bode well, man. There's something just not right. And so when I say, what is Tua facing? This is what he's facing. I understand everybody says he doesn't look at social media. I guess he doesn't read the newspapers, which means the conversation is taking place whether he likes it or not. And people are, and it wouldn't matter if it was all support. It wouldn't matter if people were united. We're seeing this division right now where it's getting real ugly. People telling other people, step off, get away, we don't want you, you're not going to be a part of the team fan clubs, and it's getting nuts. And we're only in January. Can you imagine what it's going to be like a month from now when free agents start being courted by the Miami Dolphins? People are going to lose their minds. They're going to lose it. They have no choice but to lose it, because everything they've been told is a lie. Everything that they've put their heart, their feelings about, it's gonna be okay. There's no competition. He is the man. It's a lie. Now, of course, I can't say that I can't confirm that. All I can do is say, listen, I own $1 billion franchise. I own $1 billion franchise, and I have doctors putting out shit like this saying, hey, if he gets concussed, with proper rest, he could be okay. He might be okay with some proper rest. So, hey, doc, this guy's been hurt every year he's been in the league. He had 2 concussions confirmed this year. The possibility of one next year, I understand you're saying it's not a propensity for it. But if he does get one, it's not going to be of the Kenny Pickett variety. If he goes down, we're done for 4 or 5 weeks. Is that what you're telling me, Doc? Is that what you're telling a GM, a head coach, and an owner who's stroking big checks? That, hey, listen, if he goes down, it's not likely, but if he goes down, you might want to be looking at Minshew or Taylor Heineke. Are you seriously thinking that's going to happen? I mean, seriously, I'm going to look at some comments right now and take a break because we've been talking for a while. But are you really think that's going to happen? I'm not going to call people naive. I'm just saying, open your mind, man. Open your eyes. Look in front of you. This is $1 billion franchise. They've spent so much money bringing all these players on. And you think they're going to bring in Gardner Minshew or Taylor Heineke or Andy Dalton? You think that's going to satisfy Stephen Ross? When doctors say, I don't know. Come on. Be adults about this. Put a Band-Aid on your heart and think to yourself, that doesn't really make much sense. I'm probably going to need to get somebody to compete with him. And if you mention the word compete on Twitter, heads blow. They go nuts. So let me see. I haven't had to comment page up, so let me look and see what you guys are saying. Okay, so Jimbo says, don't think so. Okay, I don't know what you mean by don't think so, but that's what you say. Barney, Barney, he has enough left and can win now. $17 million home in Miami ready this fall. I think you're talking about Brady. Brady satisfies Stephen Ross. And I wasn't even, and I'm not even getting into the Brady stuff tonight. I just, I don't even want to go there, but I'll talk to some of your comments. I don't care. What's this one say? I don't care who rubs the nuts of the center. I just hope for a Super Bowl next year. That's it. That's what we as fans should be hoping for. We should be saying, hey, listen, hey, do what you need to do, Steven. Chris, sign who you need to sign. Make it happen. Let's win. That should be the goal. Win. Period. Not win with Tua, not win with Brady, not win with Andy Dalton, not win with Skyler. Friggin' win. Do whatever you need to do to make it happen, and we will support you. How can that be a bad thing to say? Dolphins haven't won a Super Bowl in 60 years. I mean, 1972, 50 years. Haven't won a Super Bowl. Do you really care who's under center? I got people telling me, oh my God, Brady is a traitor and a blah, blah, blah. Do you really care? Does it matter who's under center as long as we win? Are you going to really forfeit a Super Bowl because you'd rather have Andy Dalton as your backup? Yeah, now Tua could be completely fine. He could go through the entire season. I guess one guy had a poll up today and it said, how many games do you have to play to show that you're durable? And most of the people who respond are like, all of them, unless you're not needed, unless the Dolphins clinch and you can sit out the last game of the season. But other than that, all of them. And there's no days off, man. I don't get it. See, this is what I keep getting from people, and it just tells me that a healthy Tua is elite. I'll take an elite quarterback as a leader of the team. If you win, that's all that matters. What if he's not healthy? That's exactly it. What happens? I think we can all let's pretend this is a court right now. Your Honor, I will stipulate to the fact that I am a Tua supporter, and if this kid is healthy, he can take the Dolphins. Has the potential to take the Dolphins to a Super Bowl victory. Can we all stipulate that? Good. I don't think anyone would deny it. Maybe there's a couple wackos on Twitter that wouldn't accept that. Now, contrary, how many of you people are willing to bet the season on a player who hasn't finished or played all the games in a season since he's been here? Now take that a little bit further. If you were writing the checks, are you telling me you would look at Andy Dalton, Taylor Heineke, Gardner Minshew, and you want to put your ducats on that? No, it's impossible. I'd rather have Baker and Skyler as our QB options than Tua and Teddy. You think Carr or Dalton? Carr? I'm not saying any one quarterback. Personally, yes, I would like to bring Brady in, but I'm not saying you have to agree with me. If you want Derek Carr as a step in, that's fine too. What I am saying is, what's wrong with opening up a QB competition? Bring in the best damn QB you can find and let Tua and QBX go mano mano. Do it. Show me. When you guys step up and show me that you're capable and want to be QB1. What's wrong with that? Every time I went into camp, I knew there was some big-ass guy sitting next to me hoping he could knock my dick in the dirt and take my position. You understand that as an athlete. That doesn't upset you. I heard people saying today, well, his confidence will be shaken. What? You're a friggin' athlete. That doesn't shake your confidence. If Tua, the shit that he went through with Brian Flores, that was somebody saying you suck. I don't think you can play. No, I'm not saying that at all. I would hate that as a player for my head coach to be saying I suck. That is deprecating. That does make you feel like shit. But bringing in a stud and saying, hey Tua, We want you as our QB1, but stud guy X here is going to give you a run for the money, and may the best man win. We're going to give you guys double the reps in practice. We're going to play you both into preseason, and may the best man win. What is wrong with that? I don't understand why there's so many Dolphins fans that are like, no, we can't do it. Are you afraid of competition? Are you afraid he might get beat out? Are you afraid that the other players might go to the coach and go, hey, man, this guy's got it? Are you afraid of that? I can guarantee you, Tua's not. After supporting this kid for a year, I can tell you he's not afraid of that. He's a Samoan sniper. He's a warrior. It's in his blood. He's going to say, I'm going to take you down. He's like, oh my God, man, you're hurting my feelings by bringing somebody else in here. I don't know what to do because it hurts my feelings because I thought I was your best bud. Wow. You think that? You think that would upset Tua? Bringing in a competitive QBX, we'll call him? Whether it be Carr, whether it be Brady, whether it be Baker, Jimmy G. You think Tua would shy away from competition? This is where my Tua support stands up. This is where I bow up and go, Tua is going to, if you bring a piece of competition against him, he's going to do everything he can to beat this guy. In fact, it may scare somebody else away. Tom Brady may say, hey, I'm not going through a competition. You either hand me the job or I'm out. Well, then you're out. Go away. Go away. Derek Carr may say, hey, listen, I'll sign a contract, but only if I get to start. Nope, you're done. If other players say that, then of course, then we're stuck with Andy Dalton and Gardner Minshew. But I don't think people are going to say that. I think there's going to be a couple guys who are competitive and say, let's do this. Let's see what happens. I'm willing to go all in against you. And I'm pretty sure Tua would say, okay, man, bring it. Let's go. I mean, I've got my but Kyle's sitting right there. He's a warrior. He's a warrior. Don't be afraid of competition. And that's what I think a lot of people on Twitter are like. They think even bringing in competition is going to hurt his feelings. You're talking about a grown-ass man. You're talking about a Samoan sniper. You're talking about a warrior. And you're telling me it's going to hurt his feelings? You don't have much faith in Tua. That's what you're telling everybody. When you're saying, I don't want him to even have to compete for QB1, you are saying you don't believe in him. I believe in him. I think it would bring the best out of him. I think he would rise to the occasion. I think he would look forward to stomping somebody's dick in the dirt. Metaphorically, quarterbacks don't do that. But I think it would make it, I can just feel him bow up. And you're saying, no, it would hurt his feelings. Get out. Get out. Jimmy G would be excellent competition and a great backup system-wise. Exactly. Somebody like Jimmy G, he's been hurt as well, but he could give Tua a run for his money in the quarterback competition, and both those guys would learn from each other, and then the best man would win. What is wrong with the best man winning? That's what I don't understand. All day yesterday on Twitter, I just kept looking at people tweeting me and going, so you don't even want him to have any competition? No. You're nuts. You understand the essence of football? You understand that's why we put shoulder pads on? Nothing given, man. Nothing given. You earn it every single day. If there's any player on that team who feels they are just carte blanche, you are number one, I bet you even Tyreek doesn't feel that way. I see this guy train like a madman. If you can beat me, bring it. All you're going to do is make me stronger. All you're going to do is make me work harder. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Brandon, that's what I'm saying. Look, you know what would be great is for the word to get out that Brady didn't want to compete against Tua. Nobody's thought of that. Nobody's thought about what Brady would want. Hey, man, you want me to do what? Compete with this 24-year-old? Hey, man, if you got it, bring it. No, I don't want to compete. ESPN would eat him alive. everybody would eat him like, dude, you didn't want to sign because you didn't want to compete. You were afraid of getting beat by Tua. Nah, nah. I doubt he would say that. Hey, Pablo, Tua versus Brady. That's not competition. That's Brady by a long shot. I don't know. I really don't know. I've seen Tua at his best. We all have. We've seen Brady at his best. We all have. We've seen them both have really bad years, right? So who would show up in July? Which Brady and which Tua would show up in July? That's what I want. I want to see the 12 o'clock gunslingers come out there and go, I'm ready. I'm ready, bro. Come at me, bro. That it's the essence of competition. Nobody, not even a little leaguer that I want to see, give me your schlub so I can beat them up 13-0 in a baseball game. No. Every time I see those kind of comments, I realize these are people who never played sports. These are people who don't understand the athletic mind. They don't understand the competitive fire that's in somebody. Tom Brady's got a gazillion dollars, Tua is 24, and when they step into the locker room and pull those jock straps on, they're going to be looking at each other probably all the way around. Let's do this. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Gator4 comment says, having Brady on a team for at a minimum a year would do so much to this team. He would motivate the team and coach Tua. Yeah, I know that. I know Tua knows that. I know Mike McDaniel and Greer know that. You know who doesn't know it? Fans. There are fans out there saying, "Oh, we can't even do that. He was our one." Oh, I should bring it up. I had a thread with this guy, and this guy was talking about how Brady was the enemy. I'm like, dude, number one, you never played a game in your life. Number two, enemy? It's a little rough, isn't it? Enemy? I don't have any enemies. Not that I know of. I don't think there's anybody looking to break in here. I don't have any enemies. It's ridiculous. Skyler? Nobody mentions him. What if Skyler, in the next 6 or 7 months, busts his ass? And he steps up to the plate in July and August. And he says, hey, Mike, I'm not ready to hold a clipboard this year. I'm going for it. What if he beat out Tua? People would be like, oh my God. Yeah. The competition. This next 6 or 7 months is going to be interesting. Because eventually, without a doubt, we're going to see Tua step onto a training field, whether it be with Nick Hicks or whoever else, and we're going to see him training. And we're going to see training film of Skyler. And we'll see training film of Baker Mayfield and Jimmy G and Tom Brady. We're going to see these guys probably, I'd say, if you're not in the playoffs, you take the rest of the month off, maybe end of February, beginning of March. You got to start showing yourself. Because you have to, because you're trying to sell yourself to another team. So you're going to be out there doing the drills and doing everything, showing, hey, I'm ready to compete. I'm ready to play. Think about it. Some of these guys, their last game was, Derek Carr got sat down for 2 games. 2 had missed the last couple. Some of these guys haven't played already in a month. What do you think happens when you're rusty? They're not sitting around. If you're capable of throwing the ball right now, you're out throwing it. Notice you haven't seen any videos anywhere of Tua throwing that I've seen. You don't see anything of Tom Brady. You see him walking through a day school, but you don't see him training. He had his bucket of water with him, but you don't see him training. As an athlete, there's no days off. You're in the gym. You may have taken a couple days off to just recuperate from the season, but you got to get your cardio in. You got to start doing your stretching. That stuff, you just can't put that on hold until March, April, and minicamp. So somewhere, I don't know if they've got Tua in a high school in Hawaii hidden, and he's doing some exercises and doing some things. But there's no way you're going to let yourself get flaccid. There's no way you're going to let yourself come down a notch, because that would get you beat. And there's too much money at stake, especially for Tua. I mean, right now he's playing on a nothing contract. We don't see any renegotiations happening right now, and he's looking for $45 million. Dude, I'm training like freaking Rocky. I'm training like Rocky, getting ready to play Apollo. I mean, fight Apollo, and doing everything I can to be ready for minicamp and see who looks buff and ready to go when camp opens up. This is an interesting question. What do you think Tua's trade value is right now? Doesn't have it. You ever buy a car? You ever buy a used car? You ever buy a house? You ever get an appraisal? Ever kick the tires on a car, take it for a test drive? What's his trade value? He got knocked out 2 times. Some people think 3 times. He's damaged goods until he can prove otherwise. So, trade value? What are you going to trade for him? Dolphins are stuck with him. Some people say, you're looking to bring Brady in or Derek Carr and cut him. No, he ain't going anywhere. I don't have to pay him anything. He's getting paid $1 million. He's going to have, right now, this is where Tua, he's going to be training because he doesn't get paid unless he can prove himself. How do you prove yourself? Beat out Brady. Beat out Jimmy G. Beat out Derek Carr. Don't do what the people on Twitter saying, no, he doesn't have to compete. Bullshit. I need $50 million. I'm on point for $50 million. And the only way I'm getting that bag is if I show out. So that's how you also know the people on Twitter are full of shit, is because they don't understand he got paid $1 million this year and then a little bit from his bonus left over. And his trade value, there is none. You walk on a lot right now to buy a used car and it's got a couple flat tires and the transmission isn't working. What's the offer you're going to make? Because right now, the last people know of is Tua has a couple broken flat tires and a bad transmission. Plus, he can't even work out from what his parents said. He's still in some sort of protocol. So even if I'm the Indianapolis Colts and I say, hey, let's talk about doing something with Tua. Okay, bring him over for a physical. I'm going to put him through his paces. Can't do that right now. What do you mean? I thought he was recovering. What's going on? What do you mean we can't put him through the paces? We need to do all the measurements like Colin Kaepernick said. We need to make you look like Jimbo the Slave. I need to know everything about him. I need to get the brain waves. I need to see what he can do. Yeah, we can't do it. Trade value, out the window. He's not being traded. Yeah. That should tell you, we're going to keep him. I don't advocate or have said that he's getting cut. He's cheap. And nothing would motivate me more is if I had $50 million staring in front of me and I got to go through Tom Brady, Derek Carr, Jimmy G, or whoever. You're standing in front of my $49 or $50 million contract. What do you think Tua's going to do? You think Tua's going to go, you know what? I don't want to compete for that $49 million bag. I'll tell you what, my wife, if I was okay to play, that's another thing. If I was okay to play and she'd be like whooping my ass, you better get them sit-ups, get them bench presses, do whatever you need to do. You need to get through these guys in front of you and get that $49 million. So, no, that is everything. It's cheap. Just chill and relax and enjoy the off season. What makes you think we're not chilled and relaxed? To me, this is one of the fun parts of the season. This is where you start playing Monopoly. This is when you start realizing, okay, here we go at this, here we go at that. And right now, yes, everything is a lot of speculation. But as I said, things are only going to get worse for Tua. And what I mean by that, let me segue into this as I get my allergy thing going on here. You see Aaron Rodgers, and we're doing it again. It's funny, people are getting tired. You're like, are we talking about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady again? Why do you think that is? Why do you think we're talking about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady again? Because they know how to work the media. He's on Pat McAfee's show every Tuesday just saying whatever he wants. The Green Bay Packers are like, can you please shut up? Can you please shut up? No, I'm out there. I'm letting people know I'm out there. Tom Brady gets on Jim Gray's podcast, and they start asking him about when you're coming back. What are you going to do? He tells them to F off. He's out there. Anybody seen Tua? See his mom and dad. Anybody seen Tua? So in terms of chill and relax, this is the fun part. This is when teams get assembled. The games are easy. I always said that when I was playing. The games are easy. I got to show up on Sunday and I got to beat this guy. That's it. That's all I got to do. But from now until the games start, and you got to practice, you got to train, you got to go through OTAs, you got to go through minicamp, you got to go through preseason. This is what separates the men from the boys. I don't think you guys realize it. This is the fun time. This is when things are done. Tell you, Tom, what's going on, brother? Tom says the team can't sideline the career of 52 other players with the possibility of another long-term recovery. Nobody wants to talk about that. That is completely right. You got, and it's not 52, Tom. Before you, that's what you take with you in the games. There's 100 or so guys. There are going to be some free agents in camp. There's going to be some trades made. There's going to be some draft picks. And you're going to go to camp with 100+ guys, and not just that. You got 100+ guys vying for a job. You've got trainers, you've got dietitians, you got nutritionists, you got medical personnel. All these people are reliant upon this team winning, not your feelings. Everybody gets paid based upon the team winning. When you, I don't think enough people understand that. So, as Tom says, where do you think Tyreek or Waddle or some of these guys who, whose contract may be coming up in a year or two are thinking, hey man, if we don't win something here, some of these guys are going to be going here or there. Have you seen a list of free agents right now? Forget Tyreek and Waddle and Armstead who are under contract. Look at the free agents right now. Have you looked at that? What do you think they're waiting for? Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Ahmed. The whole basically running back room are free agents. Mike Gesicki. What do you think they're all waiting for? Hey man, what are you guys doing here? What's it going to look like moving forward? Minnesota's calling. They're offering me X, Y, and Z. Can you match it? No? Well, let me know who's going to be here, and maybe I might just take less just to be around. Nobody talks about that. It's all Tua. And you're absolutely right. The entire team has to know where's his focus going to be. You're going to bring in Taylor Heineke or Andy Dalton, or what was the other guy's name? Gardner Minshew? That's who you're hanging your hat on? Hey, Minnesota. Yeah. Hey, Quasi. Yeah. That 15, 20 million a year is looking really good because I don't know what the hell these guys are doing. So I'm gonna come out there. That's what's going on. Yeah, John, you're saying we're gonna get Jeff Wilson back. Yeah, good chance. But don't think that his options are limited to the point where he can look at this and say, I don't want to go through this again next year. I don't want to go into November and be playing with a third string quarterback. So I'm going to bounce over here to the Giants. What about Saquon Barkley? Nobody talks about him. What if he decides, hey, I'd like to come to Miami. I want to be down here. Now Jeff and Mostert are going, whoa, Saquon Barkley? What do you mean? Chris Greer, Saquon Barkley? Hey, Chris, who's your quarterback this year? Tua. You're going all in on Tua. Who's the other quarterback? Gardner Minshew. Let me look over here. I'll be back to you, okay? I want to win a championship. Tell me you've got my best interest in line too. Tell me you're not putting the entire season on someone who keeps breaking down. That's what the other guys are saying. X-Watch, I can't even pronounce your thing. Brady gonna say it again. You staying with? I don't know if that was the. I don't know if that was the quarterback he was talking about, but yeah, that word got out. That was funny. Let's see. Why? I'm trying this by Psy. That's true, Ray. Why is it that most players can clear after 1 to 2 weeks protocol and Tua can't even get on camera after a month? His parents speaking for him is embarrassing enough. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to show you something and show you this divide. And it made me want to make this video. See, that something happened. I ran a poll. I like to run polls. I like to hear people talk and hear what they have to say. So I ran this poll. And it was put it up yesterday, got almost like 1,500 votes, so it's a good sample. Take a look at this. If winning meant going with a quarterback other than Tua, would you A, enjoy the winning baby, B, be upset because another quarterback beat out Tua, or C, I wouldn't care because if Tua ain't the quarterback, I'm not watching? You can see the numbers right there. 75% of people said, win. That's all we care about. Win. Don't care who the quarterback is. So what that tells me, when you can say what you mean on a poll, instead of getting lambasted on Twitter or even getting, trolled on YouTube, and you can say what you want, overwhelmingly people are saying, we just gotta win, man. It's not a bad thing to say. We just have to win. And I mean, it's these numbers are just staggering. 75%. I didn't make this up. You can go on my community page and see it right now. It's still live. I didn't take it down. And it's funny because most of the comments are from the people, the little percentage of people, the 13% who like it's Tua or die. They're the vocal ones. You've heard this saying before: the squeaky wheel gets whatever it is, how it goes. Squeaky wheel gets the attention or whatever. But the 75% of people are like, hey man, let's just win. We got to win. Where do you sit? Are you in that 13%? Are you in that little ass box? Or do you want to win? That's who I want following me. That's who I want to engage with. Let's see here. Ray says, not concussion prone, so let's see. Yeah, play it. Terry thinks if Tua doesn't start, he'll be traded. To who and for what? If you know that Tua is good, better than good when he's healthy, why would you trade him? You're not paying him anything. He gets paid $1 million this year. That's like the dollar discount. That's him getting paid dollar store rates. $1 million for a quarterback. I wouldn't trade that. Yeah. Thank you, Zayak, for being in that 75 percentile. Oh, that's what the end of that thing. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Yes, that's where it is. Okay. Let's see here. Jonas Slay says, Barry, you're right, but Jeff isn't a starting running back, but Jeff plays that key role like Green Bay running back. Yep. But there may be some teams that might be looking for him to come in. I don't know. Let's see here. Keep Tua as a backup. Yeah, people say that, but I'm just saying it's too early to call anybody a backup. No, I don't even think right now you can call Skyler a backup. Because if you're calling Skyler a backup in January, then you're putting no faith in the kid's developmental ability. What if he shows up in July and goes, I'm ready. Let's go, Tua. You and me. No, it's just Tua. He's our. No, it doesn't work that way. I can tell you right now, nobody, I don't care what Chris Greer said in that video, nobody gets anointed a position. Doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You don't say in December, that's my guy, that's how it's going to be. He's number one, 100%. Because then Skyler's like, well, what the hell am I doing here then? If he's number one, no matter what, 100%, as Chris Greer said, Skyler's got to be going, well, what the hell am I? Chopped liver? Hey, what am I? I'm not here to hold a clipboard. I'm here to compete to be quarterback. That's how you knew when Chris Greer said it, it was bullshit. And of course, everybody lopped it up. Oh my God, Tua's number one. He's going to be. It doesn't work that way. You got 7 months to develop. What if, yeah, I don't know, maybe Skyler goes to camp and he goes and what's the guy's name? Trent Dilfer's camp, and he develops into just this amazing quarterback. And he comes to camp ready to play. And you're going to tell him, no, sorry, this is Tua's job. You're just here to be window dressing. It doesn't work that way. It's never worked that way. We're down here in South Florida. I want you guys to do something. This would be a good test for you. I want you to go to wherever you are. If you're in Port St. Lucie, if you're in Jupiter, if you're in Miami, go to spring training for baseball. Watch these guys in the minor leagues. Watch these guys in AA, AAA, and they're all playing, vying for a position. How do you think a player gets elevated to the big show? Do you think they just say, nope, you don't have a chance? Or if a guy shows up in spring training and hits the hell out the ball and he's rocking it, he's just killing it. He hits 20 home runs during spring training, steals 15 bases, throws out 3 guys from the outfield. Do you think there's a general manager that goes, he's good, but I can't use him right now because we gave the job to the other guy? Unless your name is Aaron Judge, but you paid him $90 million, whatever it is. But other than that, he's gonna play. You're gonna find a spot for him. And so when Mike and Chris Greer said 100% he's our quarterback, did they not think that Skylar Thompson sat back and heard that and go, I'm just chopped liver to you guys then, right? Because I don't have a chance. You're telling me in January and December that no matter what happens between now and July, I ride the bench. Are you really telling him? Are you really telling a rookie quarterback there's nothing you can look forward to? Because I would say 2 words to Chris Greer. I'd say 2 words to Chris Greer if that's what you feel. You know what those 2 words are? Brock Purdy. And I'd turn around and walk out. So you're telling me, Chris Greer, that there's no chance Tua is the number 1 quarterback of the going in 100%. Yeah. What if you end up having a guy like Brock Purdy? It doesn't make any sense. Gardner Minshew. Now, hey, Jermaine, we can all say that Skyler, as of right now, is 3rd string at best, but we don't have a crystal ball. That's all I'm saying is make him prove it. Don't anoint anybody the top quarterback. That's what camp is for. That's why you go to camp. Prove it. Beat me out. Okay. Yep. He beat me. I suck. I'll sit. I don't get it. Terry Romine says there will not be a quarterback controversy. It's not good for any team. We won't bring in someone in to compete just for backup. Then if you feel that, make sure you don't invest in season tickets. If you feel that there shouldn't be a competition for quarterback and that Tua should just be anointed, you get what you get. I don't want to hear it next November, December. I don't want to hear it when people say, oh, he got hurt again and we weren't prepared. Okay. Competition's bad. It doesn't help the team. That's where everyone misses. Ask anyone who's played the game if competition works or not. If the same psychology for the fans is the same psychology the players have. It's not like they're going to go into the season with a quarterback controversy. You end that shit in camp. By the time the 4th preseason game rolls around, you know who the guy is. And then you announce and say, this is our quarterback. And you go with it until he's not. It's that simple. All right. Dolphin, this is what people just crack me up. Tua should be QB1 if he stays with the team. Why? Why? You guys write this kind of stuff, and my question to you is, why? What makes Tua the anointed that he automatically should be QB1 no matter what? That's feelings. Your feelings don't matter in camp. And that's where the breakout, that's where this entire thing goes right now. That's why we're seeing this. You've got the vocal people who come on videos and on Twitter and say Tua is number 1 no matter what. and you've got a whole bunch of fans, a whole lot of fans that are sitting back going, "No, man, it ain't like that. Whoever can get us the ring is who we want as quarterback." So, want to bring up a couple other things here that I want you guys to see. This was something that Barry Jackson put, and again, I like to be looking at words. I take things literally. Barry tweeted, "This division is there for the taking, people. These Bills aren't the Brady era Patriots. We saw that. Upgraded 2 key spots on defense and signed durable quality backup and hope for a healthy Tua." This guy's a 30-year sports writer? 30-year sports writer, and says, roll the dice, hope for a healthy Tua. Come on, man. I look at this and go, what are people thinking? Hope for a healthy Tua? That's not how you run an NFL franchise. You don't say, you know what, let's put him in there and we hope he's healthy and maybe we'll get someone to stand back up like Gardner Minshew. We hope. I can guarantee you, other than a Hail Mary play at the end of the half, or the idiotic play that the Cowboys ran by putting Dak Prescott at center, that's the only time you're hoping. You're hoping that what's his name? Zeke Elliott. I'm hoping that Zeke Elliott can walk this guy. I hope that we can do something and lateral all the way around. I can hope. That's the only time you hope in a football game. That's it. You're getting paid to do a job. You're getting paid to win. I can't hope that you're going to be there. Dallas had a whole bunch of problems. Their kicker, I'm sure they did. Oh my God, I hope he can make this kick. Yeah, because you had no other choice. You're in the game. You have no other choice, and hopefully he can make this kick, and hopefully Zeke Elliott can block this guy, and hopefully we can get a lateral or two, and hopefully the defense won't be able to stop us, and hopefully, if you're the Miami Dolphins, you have a healthy Tua. Hope. Hope is not in any game plan. That sheet that Mike McDaniel holds up doesn't have a hope column. Hope. We hope he's healthy. That's the kind of stuff that drives me crazy. And so, what we're seeing now, I don't want to take you guys too long, but what we're now seeing also, as I mentioned, it's going to be 7 months. And now we're starting to see the media creep in. And this isn't good for Tua. The media is starting to creep in. And we see this show up. Tua Tagovailoa should not be the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins next year. If Tua Tagovailoa is the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins next year, it will be a major mistake that could cost them a Super Bowl. Let's be honest about the Dolphins quarterback situation with Tua. And he goes on in this article to talk about why Tua shouldn't be the quarterback next year. Not knowing how big this guy's page is or media, that's one thing. But then I look at some of the stuff that I see from the bigger guys out there. And I start seeing, let's see here. Let me bring this up. This is from, again, Barry Jackson. And Barry Jackson starts talking about, who we could look at as the Dolphins backup and who's appealing. And you can look at this article, and the people are starting to, come up with their own ideas now as to who should be the quarterback to back up. And his first sentence: "It's bad enough when your starting quarterback has durability issues." If everybody's already saying this, some of you asked, could we trade to it? No, everybody knows he has durability issues. And now we're starting to talk, and what are we going to do? It's January and they're already starting. What are we going to do? And then this is from, let's see here. Is this from Perk? Let me see if I can bring this up. Okay, so then I get this this article, and this was the second in a 4-part series by Barry, and it's pretty interesting as he talks about it here as well. What are we gonna do? The evidence at the time seemed compelling enough that Tua was going to be the quarterback. Here was Tua winning every game that he started and finished, or started and left with a big lead this season. By any measure, he says it right here, by any measure, Tua had met every standard to be considered a legitimate franchise quarterback. And then everything fell apart. These stories are starting to come more frequent and more frequent. There should be another one here I pulled, and let's see. This one here. Come on, give it to me. Did I pull here? I don't know why it's not coming up. I have to shrink this probably. Yeah, okay. So this is from Chris Perkins from the Sun Sentinel. So you guys will be able to see this. Now he's starting to talk about it as well. How will the Dolphins teach Tua to fall properly, and other off-season thoughts? So I understand what you're saying here. You're not talking about footwork. You're not talking about a drill, a 7-on-7. You're not talking about anything to do with a quarterback. You're spending your time trying to teach this quarterback how to fall. Think about that. When have you seen anything like this when you're talking about a quarterback knowing how to fall? I'm not a GM of an NFL team. None of us are, unless somebody here is lurking and they're a GM of this team. But the bottom line is we're not in a good position. And we can't keep causing these problems with the fan base. When you're seeing numbers like this, people are starting to realize right now we're in trouble. We are in big trouble. 75% of people see the writing on the wall. I'm not making it up. I get blasted on Twitter. I get blasted in some of these comments. And the bottom line is, as this video started, this is what Tua is going to face. And it's January 26th. It's January 26th. We got months and months and months of this stuff. And you know, Aaron Rodgers is out there every Tuesday on Pat McAfee's show. He's about to get a boatload of money, either from Green Bay or probably the Jets, in our division. They're going to pay him $50 or $60 million. And so you'll have a division with Josh Allen, and you've got potentially Aaron Rodgers, and you've got Bill O'Brien going back up to New England and coaching Mac Jones. And we don't even know what our quarterback situation is. That's not good. And it's only going to get worse. The more Brady is seen down here, speculations talks. Wait till Derek Carr shows up. Once the 49ers lose, wait till you see Jimmy G show up on South Beach. We got 7 more months of this. It's not going to stop, and Tua's not talking. I had one lady bitch at me today and said he can't. He's not allowed. He's forced. The NFL has forced him not to talk about it. People got to wake up. Tua, I've supported him all season long. You guys have seen my video. I never turned my back on him. I support him right now. But damn if this next 7 months isn't going to be hell to go through. He needs God. He needs his parents. He needs a strong intestinal fortitude, because this shit ain't going to be easy. Not by any stretch of the imagination. You got 7 months. And it isn't going to start until after the Super Bowl. So whoever, wins the Super Bowl, after that, everything, Katie bar the door. All shit's going to break loose with all kinds of rumors and narratives and everything else. That's when it's going to get really ugly for Tua. Yeah, you're right, Tom. Any quarterback who vacations in Miami. Oh my God, Lamar Jackson's down here. He's been hanging out on, at a high school throwing around. It's every single time. There's going to be cameras everywhere, and they're going to be showing these guys. And Lamar, from what I remember, lives. I don't know if he still has a house down here. Teddy Bridgewater still has a house down here, so they may hang out. Who knows? Gary R., what's up, buddy? He says Barry Jackson is being realistic because of the salary cap the Dolphins can't afford. Stop. Don't worry about the salary cap. It's monopoly money. It was funny. Somebody had posted on Twitter, if you say the salary cap is realistic, then you're saying you don't understand it. Like I said, I don't normally promote other YouTubers, but if Dudley Do Wrong guy, he did a really, really good job showing you how much the Dolphins can shave and go from 14 or 15 under to like 50 million over. Salary cap is no issue. If you want a player and that player wants to come here, you can structure a deal. You know what Brady's contract was in Tampa Bay this year? Everyone's like, you can't afford Brady. He's going to want $30 or $40 million. You know what he played for? One. Played for $1 million this year. He got a signing bonus that doesn't really, there's different ways you can do things so it doesn't hit the cap. But he played, his salary was $1 million. You know what Tua's salary is? $1 million. Don't worry about the cap. Worry about the player. The player wants to get here. Let Chris Greer do his funny math. Let him lock him in a room with a calculus major. He'll find the money. Yeah, that's what it is. I got March 15th. All hell's going to break loose. I mean, we'll see it before then. We'll see it begin to evolve. But on March 15th is when they actually put ink to paper. And then, wow. Let's see here. Some of the Miami, absolutely. Some of the Miami reporters are mouthpieces for the organization. They don't know anything other than what they're being told. You know how you can know that? Because nobody asked the right questions in these press conferences. If you or me or any one of you guys here were in this press conference, I'm sure there'd be some questions being asked that they don't want to hear from. So, excuse me. There's a rumor going around that Tua is forced not to speak to media, and that during, you guys put some limitations on him. Did you tell Tua he can't talk to the media? Sorry. They cut my mic. I can't talk. I can't ask my questions. Next, over there. You think there, I was going to say, you think the Biden press conferences are bad. You can't imagine if you had reporters there in the Miami Dolphins press room who weren't just going with the flow. Let's see. Brady would play for cheap to get another Super Bowl ring. What if Brady has bigger aspirations? We all know Brady was about to be part owner before Brian Flores' lawsuit blew everything up. And understand, if Brady is friends and has Stephen Ross on speed dial, imagine this conversation. Hey, Tom. Yeah, I think you owe me, bro. What do you mean? Well, I already blew a draft pick on you. I already blew a first-round draft pick on you. I think you owe me, bro. Well, yeah, but Fox is going to pay me $37 million to come up in the booth. I'm going to make you part owner. You're going to make that in 1 year. Oh, all right. Let me have my people talk to your people. They already blew a first-round draft pick on him. NFL already fined him, right? You remember that, don't you? When am I going to go after draft? But we got till April to do draft prospects because there's so much stuff to go over in terms of where we are. And, tonight I just wanted to get that out there because I just see this growing evil little faction happening. And I in my own little way, I'm trying to bring people together and go, let's be Dolphins fans. Let's see what's best for the team. Tua, we love you, but most important, job one here is bringing this community together as Dolphins fans. I even had one person say, hey, listen, if Tua's gone, I'm gone. Then I don't need to talk to you anymore. I don't need to interact with you because you've told me you're not a Dolphins fan. You're a Tua fan. It's a big difference. Hopefully you're both, but when you tell me if he's not here, when these people on this chart here said we didn't care because if Tua isn't quarterback, I'm not watching. That 13%, log off. Unsubscribe. You're 13% of people I don't need to be talking to. I don't think any of you need to be talking to someone who doesn't care about the team. So, let's see here. Billy Patelli says, Tua's concussion is 24 years ago. Now is 2023. Tua is QB1 for Miami Dolphins. Okay, man. Whatever you say. Do I like Black Sabbath? uh, I'm not even going to answer that. Tua is better than the Dolphins. Tua first, then Miami. Okay. I know you don't mean it, Jeff. I've seen some of the stuff you've written up there. Let's see here. Chris, where are yours here? Chris. I guess he and Pork Rinds are having a little tete-a-tete. Don't think the roster sucks bad enough that dumping Tua, we'd go one and whatever. No, I don't think we go one and whatever as long as we bring somebody in. But I don't think who wants to. So why would we dump him? No, he's too cheap. This is gonna be small. So who wants to win a Super Bowl? Everyone. So if the cap isn't something to worry about, don't you think these owners would do everything to keep great players? Cap does matter. I didn't say it doesn't matter. Understand, I did not say the cap doesn't matter. It's in place for a reason. What I'm saying is the restructuring of contracts, moving money around. I mean, think about your home. You've got your home budget, and you've got $1,000 that you got to figure out what to do with. I can make the car payment. I can make the power payment. I can buy some groceries. All right, honey, we're gonna put 50 towards a car payment. We're going to make sure we make our mortgage payment. Now we got like 800 left over because we just had to do something. We went to movies. What do we have to spend on, I don't know, groceries for next week? Well, I wanted to get some extra milk, but I'm going to push that aside till next week so I can use that money someplace else. That is the most simplistic salary cap explanation you'll ever hear, but that essentially is what happens. So I get paid $40 million a year. Yeah. Would you mind restructuring? Hey, what do you need me to do? I need you to take $6 million off the table this year and put it on 2025. Okay, I'll do that for the team. All right. So I just freed up 6. Hey, I'm going to cut Byron Jones after June 1st, and I'm going to free up 10 or 15. Now you're at 21. You see how it works? There's so many different nuances to the salary cap. The salary cap matters. What happens to get to that salary cap is what a good GM gets paid for. Because he can say, I'm going to take this much from Teron Armstead. Hey, X-Man, you didn't play that well. I need to move some of your money to a signing bonus. I need to move some of your money to 2026. Oh, now I've got an extra $9 million. That's what I'm saying. The salary cap does matter, but how you move the furniture around in the house, that's where the value is. That's where you find the money. Then when you're talking to a free agent, I don't know, Tom Brady, and he's like, I need to make $30 million a year. Well, how about I give you a $1 million salary? I give you a $20 million bonus for 4 years. That's $80 million, but we're going to pack it on to the end and give you some in 2024, some in 2027. You don't even know the math that goes on with this shit. It's unreal. What's up, Thomas? Been trying to get a top 10 QB since Marino left. Now we got one, and then you want to cut bait because you got a couple of concussions. Do me a favor. I know we've been talking for an hour here. Show me where anywhere in this hour-long video, I will give you $100. I will Venmo you $100 if you can find anywhere in this video where I said cut bait with Tua. That's the problem. You guys think something and you feel something and you think that people said it when you're making the shit up. Not once did anybody, I don't know if there's people in the comments, but I never said, and I've never said on any video to cut Tua. I don't know how your Vulcan mind meld gets you to the point where you infer something like that. When I've been emphatic over months about not cutting bait with Tua. I just, woosah, because you guys are nuts. I mean, seriously, I've spent an hour talking and somehow somebody puts up a comment that you want to cut bait with Tua. No, I want to cut bait with people like you. I want to cut bait when you make stuff up because you don't listen. Oh, Barry, you're talking bad to somebody. Come on, man. I invest a lot in this. I'm a big guy, and I'll take my lumps when I do shit wrong. If I put out some misinformation and somebody calls me on it, okay, I was wrong. But dude, I never said that. Never have said cut bait with Tua. I've actually said just the opposite over and over again. You definitely got to keep him. You definitely have to keep Tua. Uh, unbelievable. Vulcan mind. I don't get how people say it. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm not looking at cutting bait on Tua. Anyway, it's an hour and 15 minutes. Guys, thanks for tuning in, ladies, as well. I really appreciate it. I'm getting ready to go through a big move here. I'd say by, I don't know, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, you're going to see a completely different set. Not just a new banner. I mean, completely different. The work that's being done is really going to help me elevate my game here. And every one of you that continues to watch videos and interact, I really appreciate it. We're still growing. You notice I posted something about Stephen A. Smith today. Some people emailed me, some people commented to me like, what the hell are you doing? I'm looking to make a huge pivot. I do not want to be pigeonholed as a Dolphins fanboy. So my entire thing is to become more of a sports-oriented channel that features the Miami Dolphins. And if you don't like some of the comment, that's fine. But you have to understand, my number one video, I got two videos that have just went completely bonkers. The one in second place was talking about Tua and his baby and his new wife. And it just shot through. But my number one video was about about Nick Saban and Deion Sanders. And I'm like, if I can talk about things in addition to the Dolphins, then I have to. I just feel like I need to do more. I'm excited. And who knows, maybe by this time next year, I'm full time at this stuff. I enjoy it. I enjoy the interaction with you guys. So keep watching. And, thanks for your support. And